Thank you. Bismillahir-Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful. Respected brothers, sisters, friends, comrades, and Mawlana. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you all. I start my speech with the greeting of a Muslim. The reason I start with that is because these are the etiquettes that I've been taught to greet people with. I'm a Muslim, and we've gone through a period of time which have been very difficult for us. And for me, probably the catalyst of these difficulties was the tragedy of 9/11. And since then, many things have happened to Muslims across, not just locally, but across the globe. Some of the issues that have hit me on a personal level, and many Muslims on a personal level, locally, are things like issues like civil liberties. More and more you find people, things that you never heard of, things like where Muslims are being marched out of aeroplanes because they have a Muslim there. You have homes that are raided, ransacked, people mistreated, even shot. For what reason? They're being imprisoned without any charge. And all these things happening now to Muslims. Now I'm speaking here, I'm not a public speaker. I never was a public speaker. I don't think I am a public speaker. But a few years ago, I would never have seen myself doing things like this. The world is a different place for everybody. And probably more importantly, for Muslims. Because there's many things that are affecting us. Islamic extremism, a concept that I've never come across before. And something that I had a bit of a debate with the Chief Constable of Lancashire with. He had an article in the Evening Post where he said that Lancashire had a problem of Islamic extremism. And I was kind of scratching my head and thinking, where is this Islamic extremism? The concept of Islamic extremism, what does it mean? An extremely Islamic person would pray 5 times daily salah. They'd fast during the month of Ramadan. They would go to the Hajj. That's extremely Islamic. Is that a problem? Well, he certainly thought it was a problem, and he was going to find more resources for Lancashire Constabulary. Then there was the comments made by Jack Straw last year. How did it affect us in Preston? There was a Muslim brother that I go to the mosque with, and his wife went into a post office in Preston. And the postmaster said to her that I'm not going to serve you unless you take off your veil. And the lady said, rightly so, I'm not going to take my veil off for you. And he said it was a security reason. So she decided not to serve him. But this man taught him a lesson. Because he made sure that it got into the Evening Post. And he'll never do that again, I'll tell you. And internationally, many issues affecting Muslims. As Valerie has quite rightly said, since 9/11, we've had the war in Afghanistan. And what was the justification for that? We were looking for somebody who we've never found, Osama bin Laden, a group of people, Al-Qaeda, who's the problem that they said seems to have got worse, and they've never rooted out these individuals that they said they were going to root out. But many people have died as a result of that. The Iraq War, I mean, I've got to the point where I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to read about it. I don't want to watch it on television. That's how bad that's become. And it's all been on the basis of lies and spin. The Lebanon war that happened last year. Now that happened because 2 Israeli soldiers were taken hostage. and they annihilated the infrastructure of the whole country. Now, is that right? Can another nation just take out the infrastructure of another country because of two hostages? I don't think so. Now, what is the common thread that runs through all of this? The common thread for me is New Labour. And I think New Labour are behind a lot of what has happened internationally and nationally and locally for Muslims and for many people around the world. Now, 4 years ago, I decided to make a difference by doing something. And that something that I did was I supported this individual, a little known person at the time, called Michael Lambert, to stand up for us, stand up for the downtrodden, the oppressed, the Muslims, the people that wanted a better world, a socially just world, and we put him up against a strong Labour candidate in a stronghold Labour ward. And with our efforts, and I can tell you, I can't tell you how happy I was one of these individuals that sometimes I voted, sometimes I didn't vote, but I can't tell you the happiness that I had when we defeated the Labour Party 4 years ago with Michael Lambert. And he won primarily because it was a protest vote against the war. But this time, I can tell you, brothers and sisters, it won't be a protest vote. He will win because he deserves to win. He deserves to win. He deserves to win because he has changed the whole expectation of how a politician should be in that particular ward. I mean, unlike some of the residents of the ward, he's actually there at the mosque every Friday. He's there, standing there, whether it rains or whatever the weather, he's standing there outside the Jamia Mosque on Friday prayers. He started up regular surgeries, which was unheard of by any other councillors in the ward. He's campaigned, and I've campaigned with him, on many issues, locally and nationally. Be it wars, be it about the tsunami, be it about earthquakes, be it about anything, global warming, make poverty history. We've been there, we've done it all. But I've never seen the other candidates, the other councillors. He's taken up, like I said, a lot of the local issues, refuse collection and the speed bumps. And there was a riot that happened last year in Ramadan, and the amount of time that he spent with the mosque and the committee and individuals trying to sort things out there,